Hey, Tim Frisch with A Frisch Perspective here. I've been doing a little series talking about the preface to the Legacy Standard Bible. The Legacy Standard Bible is an update of the New American Standard Bible. It's being produced by Pastor John MacArthur and faculty from the Master's Seminary. It is a highly anticipated Bible in some circles, and people are really interested in it because it is going to, on one hand, carry on the tradition of the New American Standard Bible, but on the other hand, it's going to have some unique features. So we've been looking at that. I just really wanted to look at one little section here in this video. It talks about units of measurement and currency. And this section says, because this translation is designed to bring the reader to what was originally written, the LSB maintains the unit of measurement and currency used in the original writing. For clarity, conversions into both American and metric units are provided in the notes for measurements. This allows for the LSB to serve the entire English-speaking world by not choosing one country's unit of measurement or currency over another. Now you can see here how they're handling this does have some advantages, and one is that by putting different measurements in the footnotes, they're actually able to relate to people who are reading the Bible from different parts of the world. So if you just have the Hebrew or Greek measurement in the text, and then in the footnote you put yards or meters, and you use different forms of contemporary measurements, then different people are able to look at the footnote and understand the measurement. So that is an advantage. Other translations, like the Christian Standard Bible, for example, and some of the more contemporary translations, actually put feet, inches, or metric system measurements into the text itself. And the advantage there is that as you're just reading through the Bible as a reader, you don't even have to look at a footnote. You can just see basically what the measurement is and understand it as you're reading through the Bible. The other advantage, though, of how the LSB is handling this is that it really gives you more a sense of how the original reads. Remember, it's supposed to be a literal translation, and so they want to really give you a feel for the original languages as much as possible, and that is probably a big reason why they're going with this approach. Personally, I like both. I think there's room and there's a need for literal translations like this that help us to see what the original measurements were, and if it's in the text and there's a footnote for a modern measurement, that is fine with me. I don't mind looking at a footnote. However, I also like the modern translations that as I'm reading through the text, I quickly at a glance get the sense of how large something is or how much liquid is in a certain container. So that's why I always come back to, I like to have a translation that is more literal, something like the LSB or the New King James Version or the English Standard Version, and something that is more modern, more accessible to our language, like the Christian Standard Bible, the New International Version, translations like that are actually considered to be more mediating translations. They are not as literal, but they're also not very highly paraphrased either. So I like having one of each as I'm studying. At least one of each, I think, is a really good way to go about it. So the LSB takes the approach of taking the measurements from the original languages and just transliterating that to our language, English. And that, I think, is what is done in the New American Standard Bible, so they're carrying on that practice. I'll continue to look at this preface some more, but I just wanted to cover that little portion there, give some thoughts on it. I'd like to hear what you think in the comments below, but thank you so much for listening to what I have to say from A Frisch Perspective.